Good evening and welcome to our 9 p.m. English news brought to you live by RTD. My name is Anna Abdullah Farah. Minister of Justice, UNICEF, today the periodical validation report of children's rights. Coalition near Singapore, 10 American Marines despair. And now the national news. The Department of Justice, in collaboration with the UNICEF, has organized this morning a validation workshop of periodic report on the Convention on the Right of the Children and the African Charter on the Right of Welfare of the Child inside the Hotel Les Cassias. This workshop was chaired by the Department of Justice, charge of the prison case, Mrs. Muna Ahmed Sheikh, and saw the participation of the representative of UNICEF in Djibouti, the prisoner of the CNDH, senior within the department, a non-organization partner with penitentiary officer. The objective of this workshop is the development of the validation of two major reports devoted the right of the child and their initiative report of implementation on the African Charter on the Right of the Child. Recall that Djibouti has been one of the first countries that acceded to it in December 1990s on the Convention of the Right of the Child in a year before its adoption by the General Assembly of the United Nations. The Convention on the Right of the Child is a more important instrument in terms of ratification guarantee to children almost all the rights of which has needed. The protection and well-being of the child is at the heart of the government action, evidenced by the wide variety of administration and other measures adopted in their favor. In a speech, the Minister of Justice has wished to welcome the participants and recall that the child has the right to health, education and health environment. Also, the Minister of Justice agreed with the government of Djibouti to accelerate efforts to promote the protection and realize the right of each child. This morning, the Minister of Housing, Planning and the Environment, Mr. Musa Ahmed, has received in this office the coordinator of the United Nations System, resident representative of the UNDP, Madam Barbara Nancy. Took part in this meeting Mr. Dini Abdullah Omar, Secretary General of the Minister of the Housing, Planning and Environment, Mr. Hussein Rirash Roble, Director of the Environment, Sustainable Development. The Minister first wishes to welcome the new representative of the UNPD and welcome the good relation that exists between his department and the UNDP. The Minister was then discussed with the representative of the UNDP the ways and means of strengthening the cooperation with the United Nations system in the area of climate change, biodiversity and protection of environment in general. The Minister also insisted the importance of speeding in the preparation of the project for submission to the Fund for Global Environment as well as the Green Fund for the climate change. Still on the national news, the Intergovernmental Authority for the Development, IGAD, has launched this morning a workshop on the statistics of tourists of the IGAD for the development of tourist satellite accounts for IGAD and the member state of Djibouti. This meeting will also participate Mr. Ali Daoud Abdou, Secretary General of the Minister of Delegation to the Minister of Economy and Finance, responsible for trade, craft, tourism and Formalization, Mr. El Sadiq Abdallah, Director of Economic Cooperation of IGAD, and Mrs. Daya Branjant, the representative of the Economic Commission for Africa for the United Nations. It has also consolidated the main stakeholder for the tourism of the IGAD and served as the second regional meeting for the tourists since the launch of the Plan Director and Sustainable Tourist of IGAD 2013 to 2023. The meeting constituted a platform by which the member of state and the main actor of the tourist exchange ideas and share the lesson of the best practice. In the opening speech, Mrs. Sadiq Abdallah, Director of Economic Cooperation of IGAD, and Mrs. Daya, the representative of the Economic Commission of Africa. Listen to them, please.
I am confident that this meeting will give us a unique opportunity to take stock of what has been happening in the region and in member states since the launch of the Sustainable Tourism Master Plan by His Excellency the President of Kenya, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta, in 2013. It will also provide an opportunity to exchange experiences and good practices on sustainable tourism, with a special focus on tourism satellite accounts and what has been done in terms of statistics. Because as you all know, tourism is a major source of income in Eastern Africa, jobs creator, and represent a huge potential for future socio-economic growth.
On behalf of His Excellency, Ambassador Engineer Mahbub Muallim, as the Executive Secretary of IGAD, let me at this moment greet and welcome you all here in Djibouti, our beloved city. It's my pleasure to stand in front of you to say these few remarks. My thanks to the government and people of Djibouti who are hosting this important event. Through our collaboration, the IGAD Secretariat and the Member States and UNECA and partners who are here present with us, thankfully we had laid the foundation landmark, which is the IGAD Sustainable Tourism Master Plan 2013-2023. The essence of the meeting today is to see how far we had gone since we adopted our master plan. Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, we are proud with what we are doing, that building our strategy had coincided with the foundation of the African Vision 2013-2063, and born just before the Global Sustainable Development Goals Agenda 2030. With this agenda, I think we had laid our foundation before.
Taking advantage of this opportunity, the Secretary General of the Minister Delegation to the Minister of the Economy and Finance, responsible for trade, craft, tourism and formalization, Mr. Ali Daoud Abdul, wishes to welcome the participants of this workshop and the strengthening of the statistical system of the tourist, of the development of the satellite account of the tourist. It has not failed to thank the senior officer of the country, member of IGAD, and the expert of Economic Commission of Africa Union for their contribution. The first of the morning toward 8:30 surrounding the fire is instead one of the houses in the neighborhood of Jamal Ambuli. The firemen were coming very quickly on the scene and have taken a relentless fight against the fire, and despite the strong wind from the Kamsin, which blew into a period, have gradually mastered the disaster, which has affected more than 7 houses. On the other side, the force of the police and the gendarmerie have coordinated of the area affected. The inhabitants of burned houses at this young woman have explained how it is part of the fire and how they have undertaken to save the furniture. Colonel Musa, director of the Civil Protection, has explained to an interview that the origin of the fire is not known to this instant. When investigation is open to know the origin of the fire, the director continues that the first step were still generated once again their mission by the narrow of the street, not permitting the tank trunk to approach the place of the claims. Colonel Musa to enjoy this opportunity to alert the Djiboutians to be vigilant and not leave fire without monitoring while the period of campaign is continued. The UNFD continues its program of awareness on the right of the children. Yesterday evening, it was the turn of the population neighborhood Arhiba to receive the delegation of the community management Arhiba to raise awareness for this district on the right of the children. The ceremony is initiated to assert the young people the right of the child, which is brand of human right. Indeed, the coordinator of the community has traced all the activity relating to protecting the right of the child organized by the committee and indicated that it is essential to respect the right of return for the children. Always in the continuing of the awareness program on the right of the child, the country of commitment manager of the District 6, in close collaboration with the National Union of Djiboutian Women, UNICEF, has organized yesterday afternoon a ceremony to raise awareness on the right of the child. This awareness has not for objective to assert for the young people their right, the right of the child, who in each branch of the right of the man. Remember that every child has the right to go to the school and have access to knowledge that will help prepare in his adult life, and must able to be treated if it is sick by sufficient feeds, be protected of drugs, and have conditions of life which are not dangerous to his health. The Brigade of Duty of Dikil, led by Musa Umar, intercepted the fight against smuggling in the region of South. The Brigade of the Customer in the region of Dikil, in collaboration with the Gendarmerie of Dikil, a Brigadier of Duty of Dikil, have intercepted yesterday morning in Mulud a significant amount of cats from Ethiopia near drilling of Mulud. This lot of cat component of 15 coolies of 15 kilos each, or more than 750 grams, were seized. The cat was carried out a dose of many by running who have been intercepted early in the morning. The seizure of the smuggling of the cat has been carried out under the authority responsible for the Brigade Duty of Dikil, Mr. Musa Umar, in collaboration with the Gendarmerie. We regret to announce the death of Mrs. Hasna Hussein Guna occurred on 20th of August 2017 in Djibouti. The deceased was born in As'ela. The 1st of January 1922 was the mother of Mohammed Musa Ibrahim Balala, ex-minister of the housing. She left behind a large family including 5 children, 2 sons and 3 daughters, as well as several grandchildren. In this painful circumstance, we extend our sincere condolence to all her family, particularly to the former minister of the housing, Mr. Musa Ibrahim Balala. Inna Allahu wa inna ilahi raji'un. And now let us move on to international news. A collision near Singapore, 10 American Marines was disappeared. A new maritime accident involving a ship of war of the United States had disappeared on Monday to the wide of Singapore in the Strait of Malacca for reasons still unknown. The destroyer U.S. John McCain is entered in a collision with an oil tank. 10 sailors are missing and 5 was injured. According to the press related to the United Nations Navy, it seems that the missile launcher has been struck in the near of the ship by oil tank. A survey will be open on the next few hours, the objective being the first to find the missing sailor. The American president has immediately sent his prayer to the Marines concerned. The Turks, a helicopter vessel of the Coast Guard, participated in the relief operation. The USS John S. McCain was headed toward the port of Singapore at the time of the accident. On 17 June last, in the Sea of Japan, another destroyer was entered into collision with a merchandise vessel. 7 Marines has been killed and 3 others was wounded. That is all for this evening news. Thank you for watching us and have a wonderful evening.